Hello everyone, today we're going to be making Chef Jean-Pierre's onion sausage bolognese. So the couple things you're going to need some olive oil. You can get extra virgin olive oil, but I got enough virgins in the chat for this. You're going to need 2 cans of whole peeled chopped tomatoes, 28 ounces. So basically diced should be fine, I think anyway. You're going to need some fresh thyme. You're going to need some tomato puree. You're going to need at least 3 nice medium-sized sweet onions. We're going to make little bowls out of these. You're going to need 1 regular yellow onion or Spanish onion, doesn't matter. You're going to need some mushrooms. We're going to use about half a pound of mushrooms. You're going to need a pound and a half of hot Italian sausage links. Try and get them on the leaner side. If they're really fatty, what we're going to do is we're going to drain the juice out of it later, so that doesn't really matter. So the first thing we want to do, and you're going to need a head of garlic. You're probably going to only need like 3 cloves or so. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the video for how to cut up this onion and how to cut up this garlic, how to get this garlic ready. Big ups LSD Papa for the video.
Shout out, Mr. Should I? Bonus.
Alright, now with our onions and our garlic ready, or at least this skinned off, we're gonna work with this in a little bit. We want to get the onions started cooking now, so come over to your stove and get both your 2 burners on worth of stuff. If you have a Dutch oven, this is the time to use that. If you don't, I'm just gonna use one of these. Should be fine. Get a little bit of the olive oil in both the containers and get that started to heat up. Good. This should be good. And we'll get the onions in a minute. And now we want to take all the sausage out of the casing here. So I'm going to show you how we're going to take it off. So we're going to take one of the sausages. Take our knife. We're going to cut it down the middle on one side. And then we're going to flip it over. We can just peel the casing right off of it. We're going to do that for all of the sausage, and then we'll get it right in the pan. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. At least I pretend to anyway. Now we need to get those onions started cooking now. We want these to be nice and caramelized. Now what you want to do is take your scraper and just be very careful. I'm going to scrape this right into our pot or Dutch oven if you're going to use that. Never use your blade to scrape off your onions because that dulls the front of the blade. That's why we got to use a nice scraper on this bad boy. Now you could use the back side of the blade too, but that's not as fun as using a scraper. We want to get the sausage in here too. Keep that going. There we go. I'm going to get probably a spatula and one of these. I want to get these started caramelizing real nice. Look at that. Now what we want to look for is a nice cooked bottom. We're going to break this up here in a little bit. We want the bottom to be nicely done. So these are going to cook about like 8 minutes probably each. So while we're waiting for those, we're going to start cutting up our mushrooms. Now you want to clean off your mushrooms really nice. And first thing you want to do is cut it in half. Make sure that your finger, your part of your knuckle rests against the knife blade. If it doesn't, you're going to have some issues later. And all you want to do is just nicely go through and chop it down. And you just want to do this for all of the mushrooms in here. So like I said, I'll just be chopping this for a little bit and we will come right back. Just be careful with your knife. Now, obviously you can see all the onions I got all over the place. I have some problems with that, but it's whatever. They'll cook up really nice down there. They'll be just even better than that. Alright, flip these over. Oh, beautiful. See this brown side right here? That's what we're looking for. We want a nice, beautiful brown side. Onions are caramelizing quite nicely. Check our onions. Stir these up a little bit. Get nice and caramelized. Down just a tiny bit. See this nice brown color in here? This is what we're looking for. Obviously, I got a little bit more to go on cooking it. It shouldn't be too much longer. So we'll let that go for a while. Now, obviously, you're going to need a colander inside of a mixing bowl for this. What we're going to do is we're going to drain some of that shit out. Let me some of this over here, and we'll take care of that later. Alright, our sausage is nice and done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it over here. We're going to drain that, all that grease and oil and shit right out of here. Put this back here. Let's see how much. Look at all that oil in there. Christ, that's like $10 worth of oil I put in there. So we don't want none of that. What we're going to do, we're going to get our sausage in here. Get that started. Now we want to take some of our garlic here. You just want to take the edge of your knife and just press down right on the garlic to activate it. There's my other piece, can't see it. There we go. And then we're just going to give it a quick rough chop. Flatten this down a little bit more. There we go. And you could take your knife and just go crazy with the garlic. Mince it around a little bit here. Obviously, if you can see better than I can, it would be nicer. Alright, good. We want to take our garlic, just want to go right in here, and then once you start smelling the garlic, which we'll smell the garlic here in just a minute, we're going to put in our tomato sauce. For right now, I'm going to do this with the mushrooms. I don't think we need too many. Get these right in here. There we go. Give it a quick stir in the pot. Alright, we want to get our cans of tomatoes open. So let's get the fun thing. There's one. Here's two. Now the mushroom's going to soak up the water in here. Alright, good, we got all that. And we want 2 nice spoonfuls of this tomato puree. Or it's 1, I can't remember. I'm just going to do 2. Give me a spoon here. Now the best part of this is obviously the nice caramelized onions. Now we're going to take one of these. We're going to stir it right around with our spatula. And we're going to let this come to a boil. And then we're going to simmer it while stirring occasionally for about an hour, hour and a half. It all depends. Now he says in the old times they would simmer their sauce for like 4 hours, Dark Side Phil. And he doesn't understand why they would do such a silly thing. I don't either, so I'm just going to do it for about probably an hour or so after it boils. Oh yes, I forgot. We also need the thyme in there. So I'm going to wash this off real quick. Thyme's pretty easy. Just get your hand on there and just pull it right off. It pulls off obviously from the top side down. And you want to do quite a bit of thyme in here. See if I can't get some more. If you get a couple of sprigs in here, I don't think it's going to hurt nothing. And he had quite a bit of thyme in his too, so I'm going to do quite a bit as well. Alright, I think I got enough in there, so I'm going to stir it around a bit with our onions and our sausage and our big ass chunks of tomato in here. Smells really good. Now with this spatula, what you want to do is you want to spatula off the sides of this. You don't want none of that to burn to it. You want to keep this nice and clean. If you burn to it, chef's going to be pissed. So you want to make sure that you keep it clean while it's cooking. So we'll come back and we'll check on this in a little bit. Yes, I also forgot. You want a couple shakes of pepper in here. Don't do too much pepper because it's going to be spicy already from the spicy sausage. And some salt. I'm going to use kosher salt, but if you got like Mediterranean sea salt, feel free to put that right in there. We'll give it a stir. And then now we'll come back. Son of a bitch, how did I go this whole video knowing that chopped tomatoes is probably more like crushed tomatoes, not fucking diced tomatoes? So it's definitely going to look a lot different than his. Oh, fuck me. Put in a little bit more tomato puree to even it out, I guess. Yeah, that should be alright. God, I always fuck something up. Alright, well, I think of how I fucked this meal up already, and we'll just continue on with it. We're gonna make our little onion bowls now. You're gonna want a nice sweet onion, or if they're in season, get the Vidalia onions. Those are the ones that Jean-Pierre recommends you get. Now, I like to do the bottom of this with a serrated knife, but we're gonna cut this very lightly with a serrated knife. We want to keep a little bit of this here, because when we go digging on the inside of this with the melon scooper, we want to be able to hit this root on the bottom and not dig our whole way through. So you want to kind of keep it flat too. I kind of did it. It's kind of flat enough. If I still got a little bit of the root there. We want to be able to sit it on here. And then you're going to cut the top off, and we're just going to peel this outside really good. So give me a second here, peel the outside. Now I cut some really good ones for Halloween. I was going to make this recipe here, but I didn't end up actually making it proper. Alright, so now what we want to do is just take your melon scooper and start scooping out the inside of these. Alright, now that you got this mostly scooped out, take a knife and just go around and make the outside edge really nice and even, or at least as even as you think. Mine's definitely not going to be even today. Alright, there's one. I like misshapen bowls, so we'll keep this one. Fuck it. I'll give our bolognese a stir now that it's all fucked up. God, it's all fucking watery now. Should just add the rest of that tomato puree in here. It's never not gonna get this unwatery. You add the rest of that puree in there. And with these two, when you cut off the top, save this piece. You can line the bottom of these later, especially if they cut all the way through. I added the rest of the puree in here. We're gonna give this another stir. It's definitely not gonna be. It's I guess it's a bastardization of an already funky version of bolognese to begin with. So I'm just making it worse. The Italians already hate me, so you know what? No big deal. I'm sure it'll still taste good. Now I can smell the thyme in it, and the sausage flavor smells really nice too. And hopefully those mushrooms soak up some of the sauce here. But we should be alright. It'll be different. It'll be different. I can't say it's Chef Jean-Pierre's anymore. It'll be mine. But what my onions that I got, I actually cut the last two pretty good. So we got the 3 onions here. Now what we want to do with the 3 onions is we want to poach them in nice water for about 25 minutes or so. So we'll float these. Whew. Not exactly how I wanted to do it, but get that in there. And we'll let those go for a little while, and we'll come back. And what we're going to do after they're done is we're going to flip them over on a paper towel and let them drain for a little bit. There's 2 ways you can do this since we're making everything fresh. He has one recipe for you do these for 10 minutes in here and then bake them for 10 minutes. But we're going to do it for the 25 in here. Then we're going to probably only bake these for about like 2-3 minutes or so, just with the cheese on top. So we'll come back here in a little bit after we let these poach. Look, let's see how the onions are doing. Oh yeah, they're getting a little softer. They're going to take a while though. Let's stir up our bolognese. Mostly the onions are the part that I'm really excited about. I was excited earlier about the bolognese, but now since I know I fucked it up, I'm actually really pissed at myself. I should have known it's not fucking diced tomatoes. I watched the video like 4 times, but I do this shit quite often. I just can't fucking think straight when I'm going to the grocery store in a panic, trying to get all the stuff for tonight so I can get everything done. But it's whatever. It'll probably still taste really good. It just won't be exactly like his, but we'll see how it works out. It might even be slightly better. I don't think it'll be slightly better. I think it'll still be good though. Won't be thick. It might be a little thicker. We might still make it out of this. Just have to simmer it for a while, and we should still be good. It's been about 30 minutes or so. Let's take a look at our bolognese first. We'll give this another stir. I bet if I let this rest, it should be okay. I'll even let it simmer another. Well, it's still got about 20 minutes to go. We might even let it go a little bit longer, but that will be, to 20 minutes should be about an hour and a half, which it'll be fine. It'll be good enough. So we'll clean the sides off here. Alright, let's check this. We'll turn this off. Oh yeah. these should be ready. They're nice and squishy. Let's feel it. Oh yeah, that's nice and squishy. So I got a paper towel set up. We're gonna put them face down on the paper towel here so they dry off a little bit. Careful here, they're really squishy. Put it over there. Alright, now we just gotta wait for our bolognese to be done. Let those cool a little bit and drain off, and then we will bake it. I got a baking tray ready for it, and I got a little bit of our mac and cheese sauce ready to go. I can just drizzle a little bit on top of that, and then we'll come back. Now, as you can see from the bottom, it pushes in a little bit, but that's okay. We'll just get some of our onion from earlier. We'll just kind of flatten it right inside of there. We'll put it right on our tray. The other two are really nice. These are beautiful. That right there. Oh, it ripped a little bit. That's okay though. Get that there. We're gonna take a little bit of the bolognese, which I got a ladle for. Can't fucking see. Put it in this one. Ah, whatever. A little sloppy, but that's okay. And which other one do I like? We'll put it in this one right here. You know, it'd probably be easier if I had this set down. I could see better. There we go. There, we'll stuff it right in. You know what the hell? We'll go on the last one too. Take a little ladle. Stuff it right in there. I'm going to take a paper towel to the outsides of those. Kind of clean them up a little bit. Now, on one of them, I'll do it on this big one here. You know what? I'll do it on the smaller one. I'm going to float a little bit of our mac and cheese sauce right on the top of this. Clean the outside edge a little bit. Of course, I make such a mess when I do this. That's alright though, the mess is the best part. And I guess I'll float a little bit on this one too. That way I can have one that's at least presentable. There we go. And then the last one, I'm going to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese. That's what I'm looking for. Just a tiny bit. There we go. We'll clean up the tray a little bit here. And then we're gonna bake these for about 3 minutes or so. My oven's already preheated to 375. We'll bake them for about 3 minutes or so, just till the cheese gets nice and brown and melted. And then we'll come back. Alright, I think these should be about ready. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. This should be good. Let's move this up here. Let's take our tongs. Probably don't even want to use tongs. Hang on, I gotta put these down. Alright, I got them out. I just put a little bit of pizza sauce on the bottom. You're supposed to put some kind of green pepper thing on there. But you know what? I think the pizza sauce will work out just fine. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of parsley on the top of these. Just a tiny pinch. And that is it. That is our onion bolognese bowls. That one's the mozzarella cheese. And these two are the ones with the mac and cheese sauce. Now, obviously I fucked it up. The sauce is a little runny. Obviously it's just juice. But you know what? Next time I know not to do that. But these look really good. They're nice and soft on the side. So I'm ready to try this. I'm gonna try the bolognese itself first with the sausage here. So we'll get as much as we can. It's probably a little bit hot. All things considered, still really good. The tomatoes are nice and juicy. The sausage is spicy, but it's not overpowering yet. The thyme leaves in there worked out really nice. That's really good. Now I'm ready to dig into the one with mac and cheese. Let's dig into this one. Dig inside the bowl first, and then I'll eat the bowl. Oh yeah, that's really nice. And it cuts relatively easy. Keyword is relatively easy. As long as I don't eat the root, I should be alright. But I'm really excited for this onion. Wow, it just melts in your mouth. It's still nice and sweet. Probably could put a little bit of the sugar in it. It literally just melts in your mouth though. And it's still got a little crisp on it. This is really good. I would make these more often. Christ. Well, a half good job to me, because I obviously fucked up the recipe. But if you do the recipe right, I'm sure this is killer. But this is fucking good. Good job, Chef Jean-Pierre. Hopefully I didn't fuck up your onions too much. But I'm an onion man myself. Good job. Alright, so I got my onions here. And as you can see, one of them broke through a little bit. But that's alright. We got part of another, the other piece of onions. We can just put this right in the bottom there. Try and get it down in there. Or not.